Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Minecraft world. I didn't explain too much about the area, so this is kind of like a little world tour mini update. Here's the little Mesa nether portal. But if I walk around here, I don't know how much we're going to fiddle with this area right now. I plan on moving the nether portal closer eventually. But on this side, we have a bit of changing plans. We're still thinking about what to do, but my boyfriend was thinking that we could do an Indian village inside the Mesa Mountain, or maybe even on that side of the mountain. We're still thinking over it, but that's not our main point of focus that we're working on right now. We're doing a little bit of separate projects. I'm doing a river terraforming again, but I wanted to connect this and that little piece of mesa with a little arch over a river. And so that's kind of what I'm working on a little bit. And then here I saved some of the villagers. They have a little farmer going on. And there's a lot of stonemasons because once they're leveled up a bit, they will trade you for terracotta. And over there, my boyfriend has begun work on a little cowboy-ish-esque settlement. And right here is kind of my little map that I've been updating. But I'll show you all the state of things as of right now as a little mini update, and then I'll do a little bit of work if you want to continue watching once I do the little update. Right here, I still have my first cartographer of the village and our little junk pile that I'm going to clean up a little later. Probably not today, though. And that is right here. So we came from another portal right here all the way around. And as you can see, this is the old map, so it doesn't have everything, like the changes here with the river. And I made some changes over here. But this settlement, I'm going to tear it down. Maybe I'll do a bit of that today. But right here, it doesn't even have the sugarcane farm or the cowboys. So this is the first map I showed you guys, and this is how big the desert kind of is. It's a bit bigger over here as well. I don't know if we're going to expand it more, but I do know I want a bit less water in the desert. So I'm going to try and get rid of this river and do a bit of changes. And right here we have a little mangrove area. But if I head over here, you all will see that I have been working on getting rid of this river bit by bit. I've made little 3 wide draining areas I can use sponges in, and I've already dried out a big chunk of river. It's not terribly big, but I only have like 2 stacks of sponges, so it's an okay amount. Let me eat so it doesn't bother any of you. Because I know some people in Minecraft love to make sure that we are well fed. I am kind of the same, but when I'm playing, I guess I don't do it for myself. But when others play, I'm like, eat your food. I won't comment it though, but I'll thank it. Anyway, let's give you a little view. How's that not night? There we go. So a little recap again. I'm going to make that a big arch. I don't know if it's going to be that tall or if I'm going to shorten it. And I currently don't like the gradient of the arch with the normal orange, normal yellow, normal orange, white, lots of yellow, and then only a little red. I'd like to change it, but then I'd want to change that whole mountain and that little chunk there. But if you'd like to see that, let me know. And right here I have our sugarcane farm and a little bit of cactus farm for like the new pink prickly pear cactus flowers. And down here I have some automated cactus farms, just little 4 sections. I think they're 10-ish long. And they store all the sugarcane down here that I collect and condense and then trade with a band of poor cartographers that I need to move soon that live right over here. I need to move them with the other villagers. I'd prefer to just start building their village and move them there, but these guys are a little emerald supply that we can use with the stonemasons to trade for some terracotta. And this river I plan to keep, but I still need to change how it looks. I kind of want to call the river something particular that can go on the theme of a kidnapping river, because I made this whole little, you can see this whole little waterway that eventually leads to the village over there where I snatched all the stonemasons and cartographers from. It's like a little kidnapping river. And I could use a play on words there, but I don't know what yet. And then this is a little tavern that my boyfriend has made. Look how cute it is. I love the aesthetic of it. I'll show you the inside, but this is called the Musty Minecart, and you can see the minecarts on top. And he used some of the sea pickles, that's the name, as drinking cups, and we have some potions. And then up here we have pool tables. I suggested he used these signs diagonally, but apparently there's a little gap in between them when you use them diagonally. But there's kind of little pool tables. It goes a bit against my fantasy aesthetic, but he's happy, and I don't mind cowboys and Indians too much. And then over here he's gonna make a bank. He's already kind of got the vault down. It's a little annoying that they've added all these new blocks, but there's like no cracked bricks. Right here you can see it, but he's wanted to make it look like some bandits or something that live around come and blow up the vault and steal from it every so often. So it's a little cracked there. And more of this village will come in time. And there's going to be a little mine into the mountain. And as I mentioned earlier, there will be a kind of Indian villager settlement somewhere where I'll put one of the villager groups. And I guess my boyfriend's done lore that I don't know yet. Over there, we eventually want to do something like the Great Library of Alexander, I think it was. Like a kind of library that still exists but has slowly sunken into the desert and disappeared through the ages. And that was a marker that you saw that could be where it is or was. And this is the little updated map. It doesn't have this river segment that I did around here, or maybe right there. The map is much smaller here, but I've worked on the river a bit, and that's it really. So, little mini update, but if you have any ideas for our desert settlement, the rivers, the mesa biome, terraforming, and whatnot, be sure to leave them in the comments below. I'll be sure to read them, and I always appreciate nice suggestions on what to do in this world. Or you could even go back on our other world tours and tell me what to do in our plains, an ocean village, or a castle end entrance settlement. But yeah, now I'm gonna find something to do, and I'll just have a bit of that on here. So I will see you guys in a second. Okay, I actually decided I'm gonna move all this stuff and get rid of some of these buildings so they aren't here anymore. So don't mind my inventory getting too cluttered. I did forget my axe though, so that kind of sucks. But I'm thinking my village, or the new desert settlement, will be a lot further in to the middle of the desert, because to me it makes more sense as to wanderers of the desert to just settle here because they can't find any place that is sustainable nearby. And so there should be a lot more desert surrounding them that they've like searched and searched and just can't seem to find any sustainable life here. I don't know why shift click didn't move any of that stuff in there. That's okay. Now, another plan I had that would take a way longer time would be to making the mesa kind of a border around the whole desert, like a little kind of a dome. I'd really like to do it on that side and over there. I can re-show it on the map later. But kind of like this place was desolated by something or other and just hasn't ever returned to what it was. And it's just perpetually been in kind of a drought aside from the whatever the river brings them. And of course, it would be much nicer if I had like all the knowledge to do like Axiom and World Edit, and I could make my own entire world from scratch. But part of the worldly fun of doing Minecraft is that you're given a world and you kind of just do what you do with it. So I don't really know what to do with the kind of random mangrove swamp that's connected to the desert. But over here this way, there's a bit of a jungle that starts connecting here that I'd like some mesa around to separate it, and right here, more mesa border to emphasize that this whole desert is kind of just isolated. And that's why people settled here, is because they couldn't find anywhere else to go that was sustainable. But in reality, it's kind of just over into the mesa and through that. Or if they went that direction, everything could have been solved. Why were those in there? We have coal. Oh, whatever. Another one of the things that we haven't done in this world yet is fight the Wither. I don't think my boyfriend's ever fought the Wither, and I just don't feel like spending hours in the Nether trying to get Wither skeleton skulls so that I can get another star to make a beacon for a bit of haste. Because right now I'm kind of just fine dealing with not having it. Okay, there we are. Now, there's also the other projects that I go back and forth with, like the kind of castle that's guarding the end and other stuff that I mentioned earlier, that I go whenever I need to refresh my boredom, or I guess whenever I kind of feel like I don't know what to do in this world, or I get stuck, I just go over there and change my perspective, change my view, or sometimes I just do a different activity like mine to get out of that kind of rut of not being able to do what I want, but wanting to do it. As in, wanting to work on the desert so it looks nice, but not knowing how to or what to do. I also like looking at my computer background, because it's just a Windows. It changes every often. I don't have a preset one that I have made or used. And so it changes every so often, and I get to see all these fun pictures that give me ideas of things to do that I use and give me inspiration. Like one of the areas I've been working on is a jungle. I don't think it's over there. I think it's that way across the ocean. And I'd like to make some cool views of that jungle, but it's a little bit of work. It's like starting a whole big new project. But I've slowly been working on getting a map out and planning everything and wanting to get a village settlement and so on. But one of my greatest ways to advise you, if you're curious about how to maintain a longer Minecraft world, is to make maps before you start building. Make a map after a while and just do a little update of, oh wow, all of this changed and I did that and I got better. And don't get rid of all the bad that you don't like. I tend to do that more often. Like, I didn't like the initial city I was working on, so I changed how it looked. And I think that was a good decision, but you don't have to do that with every project. Like, oh, this house looks bad, I'm going to tear it down and try it again. Because sometimes just having those in your world and it's like, ah yeah, a reminder of where you came from and where you've gone in your building style and so on. This isn't my greatest pickaxe. No, it is my greatest pickaxe. It just feels really slow mining this. It's funny that mining the cut sandstone is much faster than mining the smooth sandstone. Some things in Minecraft are just funny that way. And I guess my boyfriend found a cat over here. He hasn't moved into the tavern or anything. Which reminds me, I had this great idea to make a mountain with kind of a cave entrance that looks like a creeper head, kind of. like 2 eyes for different cave entrances, and then like a big giant mouth, and probably have it be a dripstone cave and be the entrance to a creeper farm. And I was initially going to do it by the city, but then we found the end, and I'm like, this would be a great spot for a creeper farm, because all the terrain around is mountainous, while much larger scaled mountains than the ones by the ocean. There we go. Doesn't even have a name. Poor kitty. Oh my gosh. Poor village pathway. Got an underground river going. Okay. This has turned into quite the ordeal with this thing happening. But since it's been a while since I have done a Minecraft little tour update, I just wanted to remind you, I'm still doing them. I just feel like we haven't made a ton of progress. Because we've been busy. It's not like this is my full-time job or anything. It's just a hobby to do this and get on the world and stuff. And while it's fun to share the progress, if I don't make any progress in it, it's like, what am I supposed to share? So that's kind of what this little mini update is about for any of you guys who watch my Minecraft content and enjoy it. Because mostly I've been doing League lately, and that gets views, which makes me happy. So I do more of that than the other stuff. And I tend to enjoy it. I like the team fighting games and how strategic you can be about what you're doing. Although it kind of depends on if your team is being smart or not, which tends to be less fun to play around if they are doing not so great. But if you consider, if you've watched this and you consider liking my content or commenting, I'd like either of that. It shows me that this hobby, people actually are interested in me doing this hobby, and they kind of like my content, which is nice. And I'm still getting better. I don't know, for being young, I do not have good tech skills. I look at code and it like bounces off my brain, like smooth brain, you know? I try to edit videos and I'm like, what's happening? Why is this all interesting? The sandstone path just immediately has sandstone under it. That's awkward. But I plan on doing a lot with this Minecraft world in the future. And regardless of how many people watch or are interested, I'll keep posting it. I might not post the other stuff though if people aren't interested. I kind of stopped doing Stardew a bit because people weren't interested in it. I'm like, why not? Why do any YouTube videos that people aren't interested in? But I do like it, and I am willing to still go back to it and play it. I'm really sad that there wasn't any like secret cutscene or anything that happened when I completed all the bundles at once. I was hoping Stardew Valley Expanded added something, or Concerned 8 added an update that did anything to that, but it didn't happen like I thought it would. But whenever I play a farming game sim like that, it makes me want to create my own, but then at the same time I am terrible with code, as I mentioned before. And whenever I try to do something with like Blender, which is a 3D making platform, where you can make like 3D animations or objects or like characters, I I get confused. And while I've slowly gotten better at using Blender, I haven't done it in a while, and probably all of that knowledge has gone down the drain. Okay. We're getting there on getting rid of this path. So most of the settlement is gone besides the house with the starting villager. I think I might keep this starting villager and the house location here, and I'll just change up the house. Make him be like a little hermit at the edge of the desert who is content living by himself. Or maybe he's like a explorer and this is his home, and he just comes back to it. And I don't think I'm gonna move the map either. Maybe that can be what he does. He has like a secret basement and it has all the maps, or I can put them in the city or the ancient library that we build eventually. But I think this path should be the last one. Oh, never mind. A little bit more smooth sandstone. All this other sandstone is here to stay, kind of. Let's get rid of that, though. There we are. And I'll have to smooth all this out later, but I've kind of rambled enough, and a bunch of you might have probably clicked off, so yeah. Anyway, I hope you all have a good morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever time of day it is for you, and I will see you all later. Bye-bye!